Okay, so I'm going to start with egg number 1. Let's see what we have here for what is being renewed in your life, or what is being birthed maybe for the first time. Let's see what we have here. Okay. This says, Easter is the only time it's safe to put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, so I'm going to set that off to the side for now, and I'm just going to start pulling some cards here. For some of you here, you may be wondering if you chose egg number 1. Let's see if I could put this under something here. There we go. A makeshift paperweight. Okay, but I was going to say, for those of you that have been wondering if you should invest or make a really big investment, perhaps this is a sign in a positive direction, or this is a yes. Let's see what else. What is being birthed into your life, or what is being renewed into your life? Egg number 1. Okay. So we have Electric Canyon, new energy, creativity, optimism, joy, renewal, recharged, and ready. Yeah, so I feel like you're energized and you're about to embark on some kind of new path. And I do feel like this is making a really big decision in your life to invest in something here. I feel like this is like a redirection. Okay, for a lot of you, this is a career path or a job, or maybe deciding that you do want to move. Maybe you're going to sell your house if you have one, or you're going to take a leap of faith in a completely new direction. Okay, let's see what else here. That is the image on this card. This says, Ritual of Fire. Runes of power with candles and flame. In sacred fire, I make wisdom your name. So I do feel like you don't really know how you're going to get there. So I do feel like you, in order to embark on this new journey or to make this really big investment, in some ways, you're relying heavily that somehow by believing in some kind of higher power, or believing that this journey is really for you, or this path or this calling is really yours, that it will work out for you. Because I feel like a lot of you are embarking on this journey alone, or it seems like you don't have a whole lot of support backing you, or maybe you haven't really told anyone that this is what you want to do, or you want to invest in this. Okay. What is being birthed or renewed for egg number 1? I'm only going to take the top card here. Okay, bottom of the deck is no. I just wanted to show you that because if you are doubting yourself because you fear change, I feel like your guides are discouraging you from turning back and going back into your comfort zone. But the top of the card says you're ready. Under that is don't stop, you know? So I know I'm feeling anxiety, like right above my stomach. And so I feel like there's a lot of fear associated with this. but also excitement, because there's something about you always knew this day would come, or you always figured this moment would come. But I don't know, maybe over time you just thought maybe it was just a feeling, maybe it was just a dream, maybe it was just wishful thinking, right? But no, you're ready. You're ready. I do feel like you did a lot of work in the past to prepare you for this moment, or you did a lot of preparation. Whether you realized you were doing the work or not, I do feel like you did, to a degree, know that you were doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But again, like, I just feel like there's this energy of, oh, I'm never going to be good enough, or I don't know if I ever truly deserve something like that. So whatever this is a really big change in a positive direction for you. So I'm going to pull one more oracle, and then we're going to dive into some tarot to see like how this will turn out, or what messages Spirit could possibly give us here about this new direction, really, that you're taking in your life. Tell me more about this new direction. Okay. So we have private universe, inner depth, personal awareness, internal world, limitless potential, intricate patterns, quiet reflection. Okay, there's a quote at the bottom that says, within the quiet sphere of your awareness orbits an entire cosmos. Your private universe holds infinite wonders, waiting only for your gaze. Yeah, so I feel like whatever environment you're in, you've become too big for it, you know, or you've outgrown the situation. I mean, look how tall she is in comparison to the buildings that are around her. I just feel like you're no longer a small fish. You know, you become this big, big fish in like a small tank, you know? So I do feel like you're starting to have this realization that, wow, like I think I've mastered what I could from here, or I've learned what I could from this place, and it's time for me to look elsewhere. Otherwise, your growth will be stunted. So I do feel like this new path, this new journey is going to require you to step into a student role again, because you're going to be learning something that you haven't learned before. Okay? You're leveling up, which means you also have to have a beginner's mind. So you can also adapt to your situation, at least with more ease than you would if you were resistant. Okay, so let's draw some tarot. How is this going to unfold? Okay, this wants to come out. Oh, okay. How is this going to unfold for you, or what can you know here? Okay, I'm just gonna turn that back over when we're ready. One more card here. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups. Okay, so yeah, this is a wish fulfillment. It's been a long time coming. Okay, for some of you, you could be going back to school, deciding you want to learn something new. You don't want to work this job anymore, or you don't want to be stuck here anymore, right? Okay. We have the strength in the challenge position. I'm hearing navigating some choppy waters. But you are following your heart. I do feel like you are. 7 of Cups. Okay, so I do feel like you had to walk away from something really disappointment. What did I say? Sorry. You had to walk away from something that really disappointed you. I feel like this is in regards to love for a lot of you. I feel like some of you are dealing with the energetic vampire. This could also be in regards to career, I guess, as well. Maybe you felt like your career just sucked you dry. Okay, since we're doing like a general pick a card reading. Maybe you had high hopes for this career path. Maybe you thought you would be able to advance, or that you, I don't know, would be taken well when you first started this job. I don't know, there's this energy of feeling like you thought you would go further, or you thought you'd be well received, but I feel like there's something that caused a lot of blockages, if this is in regards to a work situation, and it just feels like there were people around you that just wanted to take from you. Like maybe they wanted to keep you stuck in a position because they needed somebody to do the work that you do, and you know, with the care that you do it with. So there's something about you being entrusted with a job, and they wanted to basically keep you at this level because they were comfortable with you there. And maybe you were given false hope, false promises. Okay. But I feel like for most of you, this is in regards to love. So maybe one of the reasons why you're in this environment, in this location, or in your living situation, okay, was in part due to someone you were dealing with that gave you false promises. Somebody that maybe they, on the surface, looked like they would be a supportive and dependable partner. Maybe they looked the role, but they didn't follow through. Or I'm hearing they didn't follow suit. Let's see what else we have here. We have the 8 of Wands in the reverse. I feel like for a while, you were really in conflict about the situation. And I feel like you're still, you're still moving on from this past pain. It's taken a toll out of you. But it's like the longer you sit with this pain, the more you realize you don't want to be here anymore, and that you're willing to, I don't know, take a big risk or to be more spontaneous just to get out of Dodge, There's also, be careful, because I feel like wherever you're moving next, there may be a test of the same narrative that you experienced in the past to see if you really learned from this or not. Okay, just because you have a new beginning and you're embarking on this new path, and that's a wish fulfillment, doesn't mean that you won't encounter energy vampires. Doesn't mean you won't encounter, false false promises or liars, or so just be careful of that. I'm seeing like what kind of red flags to look for now. Maybe you didn't before. at least in regards to this specific situation that you're dealing with. Yeah, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like a lot of you will be relocating or moving physically in a different direction, whether this is a new job, maybe this is going back to school, and that causes you to have to move things around quite a bit. Maybe you're also reorienting yourself, and something about your lifestyle has to change. But I do feel like a lot of you are going to be relocating here. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is what I have for those that chose egg number 1. You're moving in a positive direction. You've learned from the past. But again, just be careful, because I do feel like there still are snakes in the grass, right? I feel like people look at you as opportunity for themselves and are selfishly motivated. Okay, so let's clear the energy. And let's move towards pile or egg number 2. What is being renewed in your life, or what is being birthed maybe for the first time? Let's see what little quote we have here. I just kind of picked these quotes at random, by the way. It says, "From death came life, from sorrow came joy. This is the hope of Easter." Okay, so the word death is, let me get my makeshift paperweight over here. The word death is really standing out to me here. Maybe you've recently had somebody close to you pass away, or you were heavily impacted by the death of somebody, or maybe you experienced a near life or near death situation in your own life. Okay, but the word death is really standing out to me here. Let's see. So maybe this new beginning for you, I don't know, let's see. I'm not getting anything yet. Okay. We have Golden Fortress, prosperity, rich mindset, protecting investments, living in comfort. Okay, so pile 2, you've been through a lot. You've been through the ringer. Okay, you've been through the ringer. And honestly, a lot of you just wish to be able to preserve your peace. Yeah, let's see what else. I'm feeling like a lot of you don't even really want to be around a whole lot of people anymore. You're like, you know what? I don't know. In my experience, people only brought me stress. And it's like they always had like some kind of, I don't know, it's like something about their motives. It's like maybe you dealt with a lot of selfish people. We have long hidden friend. It says, a guide for travelers lost and found. He leads you to safety without a word or a sound. And that is the front of the card here. Some of you also may be war veterans that would be drawn to this pile. I'm seeing somebody look up and seeing several like coffins around them. So maybe you're weighed down emotionally by reflecting on the people that had lost their lives while you were serving alongside them. Or even if you didn't serve alongside them directly, maybe it still impacted you, the amount of lives that were lost, you know? I'm hearing the last one standing. So maybe I'm hearing suicide. I know that's a triggering word. I'm sorry. I should have probably said that beforehand, but maybe you've had some of your close friends, you know, die by suicide because they just were internally tormented by the things they had seen and they didn't know how to recover from. If that's the case, I do feel like you are longing to see some of their faces again, or wishing that you could see them in a better place, you know? Yeah, you just really want to live in peace. I mean, this rock is isolated, right? It doesn't seem like there are no, you know, there aren't any nearby rocks. It's just this one. So I feel like it's almost as if like you hold on to so much pain and you feel it so intensely that you need the space. You need space. Maybe you also fear that you're going to hurt others because you're in pain. Maybe if you know you've been through the ringer here, sometimes the slightest things that people will say or do, maybe even if it's just out of ignorance, will set you off. It's triggering to you. Even if, you know, they didn't mean it, or even if you knew it wasn't that big of an issue, it's just in that moment, you're just so triggered that you tend to go off. And maybe you're like, it's better to just keep my distance. Okay, we have improving health. Something about this new energy is going to bring tears to your eyes. I feel a lot of emotions welling up inside and coming to the surface. And usually I do feel like you're somebody that just feels the emotions on the inside, but you don't typically let tears run, especially if this level of grief is something that you've been experiencing for decades now. Okay, I feel like this energy and what's going on right now is going to trigger something in you emotionally for you to actually weep. Okay, and I do feel like that's actually a good thing for these tears to come to the surface for you, because it's healing. It's healing. I do feel like there is some kind of external force and maybe even the help of passed down loved ones that want to help you heal. okay? Because I feel like if you have passed down loved ones, they think that you deserve a brand new beginning. So let's see what else. Let's see if I can find more about this new beginning. Hi guys, I'm not doing personals right now, but if you are interested in one, please just DM me separately, and then we can talk offline about how my personals go. Alright. Tell me more about this new beginning that wants to come in for pile 2. We have Vista on the path. Clarity, broad perspective, path awareness, inner landscape, choice point, unique guidance. A few more words under that. I am going to read the quote though. On the very bottom it says, "From this clear vantage, the diverse landscape of your journey unfolds. Observe with intention, guided by your unique inner light." Okay. Wow. So I feel like with whatever happens here, I do feel like you are going, this sounds morbid, okay? But I feel like I can talk to you about that. I don't feel like pile 2 is going to run by the thought of death and the afterlife. I think it's actually a topic that you feel comfortable with. Maybe it's because you've been sitting with it for a long time. I'm also, so I'm seeing, for one, I'm seeing you wake up because I feel, so I'm picturing volcanic rock, you know, and then I'm seeing kind of like molten lava kind of break away this volcanic rock. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing someone lean in and listen attentively. Or attentively. So I do feel like at the end of your journey, you are going to have peace, however you want to go about that. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying it like this, but I feel like maybe somebody here is nearing their end. Okay, I don't know if you're suffering a terminal illness or you've come to some kind of decision here, okay? But I feel like there's something about this is peaceful. You know, so maybe that's just something that would be helpful for you to know mentally. Maybe it's more of a confirmation you needed that your death will be peaceful. Meaning not necessarily that you'll pass in your sleep, but I mean, that could be the case, but I feel like it's more of you're able to just really let go. Like this is making peace with whatever has occurred, whatever trauma has really taken over your later years in life. The road that you had to walk was not easy. It was lonely, it was heavy. It was a path that most people wouldn't know how to bear on their own. And you know this because maybe you've lost friends along the way, right? Okay, let's pull some tarot. I'm hearing why here, why now? So maybe after like years of suffering, you're wondering, okay, well, why now? Is this feeling of peace, or is this healing wanting to come in for me? We have the Seven of Cups. Some of you could have been drinking a lot, heavily drinking, okay? Drinking to try to forget, but then triggered when you remember, and then you fall asleep, okay? We have the Seven of Wands. I do feel like this trauma that you've been through, it's activated some kind of mediumship ability in you. So I feel like, I don't know if this happens in dream time or more towards the later hours of the night. But I do think that sometimes you see the ghosts of people. Maybe they're the ghosts of people that have passed in your life, okay? But it's like you do see the ghosts of people. The World card. Okay, I only have so much space. Sorry, and these cards are long. I'm gonna put this here. You also, I feel like, okay, so I'm trying to get to the future here, but I keep on being pulled back by what you've been dealing with. Maybe it's more of like needing confirmation that this is your reading. I don't know, but I feel like you've, in a way, you've been blessed. So yes, you've gone through this trauma and you've lost significant people in your life, but I feel like that's led you down this quest for spirituality, or finding out answers through spirituality. Maybe it made you question your immortality and what it means to be immortal, what it means to be alive, what it means to have a soul. You know, what is the afterlife? Is there an afterlife? Do we reincarnate? You know? So I feel like that has led to actually a beautiful rabbit hole that you wouldn't have never went down, and discovered treasures along the way, even if you were alone in doing so. But yeah, without your own life experience and your own brand of trauma, I really don't think you would have, for one, found these spiritual treasures to have been meaningful if, you know, you didn't go through this. We have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. On the deck, we have the Two of Swords in the reverse. I'm hearing at an impasse. I'm also seeing the love here as well, but I don't feel like it worked out, or maybe you lost this person along the way as well. What about this? Can you clarify the Queen of Cups energy here? Oh, okay. Hold on. This fell on the floor. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can pick it up without messing my setup here. Okay. The Two of Swords wanted to come out again. On the deck now is the Empress. Under that is the Tower. yeah, so I feel like this must have been somebody from your past, somebody that you loved. I don't know if you just had a falling out and this person never left your heart, or if this person also passed away, okay? But there's a sense of loss around this person as well. Maybe there was some kind of argument or fight that happened that caused the falling out here. It's like maybe this person didn't agree with how you were living, or maybe some of the life choices that you made. Or at one point they were just like, I just can't do this. And maybe you felt like you had to stand your ground because you felt, I'm hearing the word valor. So maybe it was an obligation that you felt like you needed to stand by. You felt like it was the right thing. Maybe you felt like it was your duty. And this person had a different perspective on the situation. So it's like you guys were both at an impasse here. I feel like this is accepting that you couldn't have, honestly, I feel like you couldn't have worked this out. You couldn't have. I feel like both of your, honestly, I feel like both of your standpoints had validity to them. It was just that your life path took you down a different direction that this person couldn't go down with you. This person maybe didn't want to put themselves through that. And maybe this person hoped that you would change your mind, or hope that you would change. You know, and I do feel like you are very stubborn. But I feel like, again, like, I don't think this was in a bad way. I felt like you were doing it in some ways because you felt like you had to. It was out of obligation. You felt like it was the right thing to do. So I feel like peace is coming into your life here as well. Maybe there's, even though you felt that way, you still held on to feeling like you were the cause of your own pain and this person's pain, and the disappointment in some ways as well. Because at the very end of it all, who did you save? Who did you save in the end? Ironically, you feel like you're the last man standing, or the last woman standing, whoever's resonating with this energy here on whatever level this is for you. And maybe you feel like, man, I must have made the wrong set of choices if this is where I'm at. Again, like, there's this energy here of you having peace at the end, though. So, I don't know, I don't feel like you're necessarily wrong for this. At the end of the day, this is who you are. At least at this, in this lifetime, this is who you are. This is who you are meant to be. Okay, you did fulfill a really big purpose for yourself here. And if you didn't choose this path to walk down, if you didn't choose yourself, I do feel like you would have had taken it out on the people around you. because there would have been this part of you that knew that something wasn't right. Like, yeah, you could have lived a more soft or cushiony life, but you would have felt unfulfilled. There was a part of your soul that knew that you were meant to walk this kind of narrative or this kind of path. And sometimes that path does come with loss and destruction and pain. So it's weird. It's very like, it's this conflicting feeling of, even though it felt right, why does it also feel so wrong? You know, and again, I do feel like you're going to make peace with that in the end. Here and again, there are people, maybe spirits, maybe guides, okay, that do want to heal you or bring some healing energy into your life after a long period of turmoil, darkness. By the way, I do feel like you are meant to carry this energy into your next life. That's what I feel. I feel like you've unlocked some kind of code. And now I'm hearing code of conduct. So I don't know. I feel like somebody here that would resonate with this is definitely in the military or is in some kind of service. Like, you know, but or you just carry this energy with everything you do. I don't know. But I feel like you've unlocked something here, unlocked a code in your spiritual DNA. I feel like this sounds really crazy and out there, but that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm seeing. So I'm going to say it. And maybe it's something that you feel inside as well. So maybe that's why I'm saying it. It's part of who you are. This is really part of who you are. This is part of your very essence. So this, I feel like, is going to be also pertinent in whatever next life or next chapter you have. I do feel like it's more next life. You know, obviously you're going to have this in this life too. It's already been activated, but you are meant to be a warrior, a knight, a fighter, somebody who isn't afraid to head off into dark spaces to get the job done because somebody has to do it. And honestly, I want to cry right now. I do. I want to cry. Because for one, I feel like you're underappreciated. And I want to say thank you for all you do. Thank you for your service if you're a veteran, of course. And yeah, I know yeah, you're a warrior spirit for sure. And that's an honor. It's a high honor. It's a high honor. Anyways, that is why I asked really long. That's for pile 2 or egg number 2. I'm going to move on to the last but not least egg. Egg number 3 or pile number 3. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of water here because I did a lot of talking there. Believe it or not, I'm not much of a talker. Okay. So egg number 3, let me kind of take this quote and throw it off there. Okay. So what random quote did I write you or write for you guys? Sweet April showers bring spring May flowers. Cute. Okay. So I feel like this light and playful energy here for you. Maybe that's what's coming in, or maybe that's what you're experiencing for Easter. I don't know. Maybe you went out today with family or your kids. Maybe you went on an Easter egg hunt, you know. But I'm seeing a lot of sun and smiling faces and giggles from kids. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. So, yeah, this makes me think of light and playful energy. But, you know, at the beginning, it did say, you know, April showers. So this may be coming after a long period of uncertainty, or maybe also tears and pain. But let's see what we have here. What's being birthed into your life, maybe for the first time, or what renewal are you experiencing? Pile 3. Jungle Palace. Adventure, unknown, raw nature, freedom, escape, pure being. I do feel like children typically have a very pure essence about them. Okay, so let's pull some other cards here. See what else. You also may be doing some renovating, or maybe that's something that you plan on doing here in the near future if you own a home, or maybe if you're at an apartment complex or you're renting, maybe you're doing some like redecorating. Okay, or maybe you're updating your space somehow. Maybe you're cleaning out your old wardrobe, donating some old things you don't need anymore. Ritual embrace. Embrace me in ceremony as the morning fog moves in slow. The sadness will dissipate on the shores of Landudno. And that is the front of the card. Ooh, okay. So the worst has come to pass, is what I'm feeling here. And I can't hold back this feeling of family and children. So maybe you're returning to family, or maybe now you're able to spend more time with your family, or you will have more time in the near future, or maybe you're reprioritizing so you can make time for your family. Okay, I don't know. There's something about, for whatever reason, I'm seeing a lot of ships at sea. So maybe your job or your career has caused you to have to travel, travel for work, or be away from family, or something's always pulling you or tugging you away from home. But I feel like there's something about making a return or coming back home, or returning to family. Okay, let's see what else we have here. This is a really specific example, but you could also be, this goes back to renovation, but some of you may have bought like a property that you grew up on, or maybe your parents had, or maybe this is like refurbishing something special you know, in your family, something like that here, restoring something. So pile 3, you definitely, family lineage and ancestry are, I feel like, really important to you, or maybe key factors here in this new beginning. The situation will improve. Recovery also wanted to come out, by the way. Maybe something was destroyed. Some of you could have been affected by the flood. Maybe the flood that just happened in Hawaii. Or maybe this is some other natural disaster that happened that you're having to recover from as well. Okay, let's pull one more card here. Oh my gosh, there's another card that just fell. Give me 1 second, let me pick that up. What fell was inner collage, but I'm not done shuffling, but I'll definitely take that into account. But I'm seeing somebody that's really angry about the situation here. So a part of you may feel maybe wronged by a situation here, or maybe you're just really angry this happened. Quiet depths, quiet introspection, stillness, hidden depths, general awareness. I can't read that because this is ruined, and then we have some ruins here. But something, calm waters of your inner self reveals the quiet mysteries swimming below. Yeah, so I definitely feel like something here was underwater. Water is coming out through, like coming through here strongly here. Yeah, honestly, I feel like somebody here is really deeply angry at the destruction that's happened here. I feel like there's a comeback plan, though. You are wanting vengeance here, pile 3. You have a strong sense of justice. Maybe that's also just your personality. Or you want to fight for justice. You could subscribe to being a social justice warrior. Or again, just something about this that's happened here was unjust, and you feel like someone needs to answer for it. The Ten of Swords. Yeah. This is definitely something that you can't take back. So whatever happens here, it's like the deed has already been done. The damage has been done, right? Ten of Swords. But the situation will improve. So let's see. The Five of Cups. I do feel like there was an ending to somebody here. Maybe it was their reputation, the person that caused this, or maybe this was the person that was in charge, or the person that was in somehow managing the situation or in control of this here, or made these decisions. I feel like they had some kind of ending in their life. They caused a lot of pain here. For some of you, this could be a court situation or a legal situation here as well. King of Cups in the challenge position. The Knight of Pentacles. I want to clarify the King of Cups with the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Three of Wands in the reverse. For some of you here, this person that caused this, maybe they were well respected in the community, or I feel like there was like a persona that they had that made them look better than whatever happened here. Maybe you trusted this person. This is also tied to financials as well. For some of you, you may have given your money to this individual, whether it be, I don't know, like a donation, or you paid for a service, or maybe your taxes were somehow affected by this. I don't know, but I feel like your money somehow supported like this person's cause. And I feel like this person just maybe collected and then nothing was done. So for example, if you hired somebody to do work on your yard, for example, maybe, I don't know, maybe this person, maybe you pay this person up front, they took the money and they never finished the work. I've heard that being more common these days as well. Like they start on a project, maybe they demand, you know, an incredulous amounts, and they're like, yeah, you could pay the rest of it later, but they already demanded like thousands of dollars, and then they disappear after they collect the money and they don't finish the work. So maybe that happened here for somebody, or maybe there's like a certain example that's kind of in line with that. Yeah, but whatever this is, though, this was really, really deeply disappointing, though. Maybe there was another situation as well that happened. Maybe you feel like this is like something that kept on happening to you. Like you would somehow end up being screwed over in every circumstance that you invested in the past, or it really felt that way. And you're just deeply angry about it. I do feel like you don't want to trust anyone anymore, though. That's what I'm feeling. You want to rebuild in peace. A little similar to pile 2, but I don't feel that. Pile 2 was more of like a war veteran. Pile 3 is like you want justice. You know, maybe you're a social justice warrior, but I just feel like you felt like you've been wronged. Maybe your family has been wronged as well. And you're like, okay, I guess they took all I had to my name, or they took what I had and my family had, or something like that. And now I just kind of just want to live a more peaceful life. I want to rebuild. I just, I'm not going to invest in anyone anymore. I'm not going to believe anyone's BS anymore. I'm just going to do everything myself, or hire family members or people that are referred to from family, something like this. I don't want to leave it like this. So let's just pull one more card here. Or what's going to happen here? What's being rebirthed for pile 3 or renewed? I do feel like there is a slow rebuilding of stability here. But this is like slow. It's not going to be as fast as you would like it to, I feel. Okay, there is a couple of cards that came out. Bottom of the deck is conflict. Conflict is inevitable, but through honest communication, you can find a way to resolve issues and strengthen your relationship. You have intimate relationships, romance in reverse, and trust. I'm going to keep that here. Yeah, so I feel like whoever you trusted, I don't know, I just feel like they destroyed this. And maybe they caused conflict within your family as well. Because I do feel like your family was somehow affected by the upheaval. And so maybe the question becomes, who can you really trust? Or maybe you've just found that out through this experience. Maybe you had a habit, maybe it's not really a habit, but maybe you had a tendency to trust the wrong type of people. Maybe, out of like naivety, Yeah. I do feel like you were rebuilding trust with yourself, though. Because I feel like this situation made you question your own decision-making abilities and skills. And so I feel like you're keeping people at a distance now, at an arm's length, because you dealt with somebody that causes 10 of Swords. I feel like this person or this group of people, they were very unapologetic with what's happened here. And somehow you and your people, or you and your family, were the ones that suffered under this agreement. But it's going to get better. You are going to rebuild. I'm not saying somebody striking the lottery and striking it rich, but you are going to be able to rebuild. You have enough to. Or you will. But it is slow. and it's a bit painful. Okay. But I do see you withdrawing from others. All right, guys, that is what I have for y'all. Also, I'm looking at it right now, and it's 3:33 where I'm at. So, bottom of the deck also is 3 of Wands in the reverse. So maybe there's something significant about the number 3. Also, we're on pile 3. So, yeah, that could be synchronistic for you at this time. Anyways, I am going to end this here. I gotta do my taxes today, so I really gotta go. And then I also gotta meal prep for this week. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.